Attention bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn. So please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
No. Hello, Yellers! We are the Matterhorn Yellers. I am your host, Jackie, and we have...
Peter.
And...
Japheth.
And today we are going to talk about food.
That's why I'm hungry.
I was like, you're in trouble. 30 minutes of torture. Coming off of a fast, you're going to the grocery store, and you're just like, I want it all.
Right, yes.
So, grab a snack, because we're going to be talking about some yummy food. Our picks at Walt Disney World.
Yes. Walt Disney World. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't this something that someone suggested to us?
Yes, I've had a couple of Yodeler fans mention to us they wanted to hear our food picks at Walt Disney World. They're planning a trip and they want to hear our thoughts.
This is good for me too, because I'm also planning a trip to Walt Disney World, so this might give me some ideas.
For sure. I almost had a panic attack because I was going through some of the menus and I was like, where is it? It's got to be here still. So we'll go into
Yeah.
that.
And so we're going to go through each park and maybe some of our favorite resorts if we have
some honorable mentions outside of the park.
Yes. And then we may also talk about, we may have not eaten there, but we may want to eat there.
Which is about all of my list. So, because it's been probably over 10 years since I've really eaten at Disney World.
That's about that too. I started working at Disney World 10 years ago, so yeah, we're all in the same boat here.
I would say most of our Disney College Program money went to food at Disney World.
Oh, accurate.
Or more.
Yeah, or more, yeah.
That would be
It's
accurate.
into the savings on some of these excursions.
Yeah. That's, college program is a genius program by Disney. You get these hungry college kids to go work at minimum wage, to go work at Disney, give them their paycheck, which half goes to their rent, and then the other half, you can do whatever you want with it, which you'll end up spending inside the park, so it's pretty much free labor for Disney.
Brilliant.
When I was doing the college program, there was a group of us at my workplace at the Caribbean Beach where we would gather. During the holiday season, they would give you your special
coupon.
The dining
the
coupons.
50, 40, 30s,
Yes.
percent, yeah.
The dining coupons, and so we would all share our coupons.
You get the free popcorn, the free soda.
Yep, and so then we would go to different restaurants we wanted to try, and we would just use one coupon, and then we would just Venmo each other money. It was great. Easy, so if you're a cast member and you want to try lots of food but you don't have a lot of money, that's what I recommend.
Back in my day, they had credit cards and then they would use the sliding machine and be like, yeah, no.
So let's go ahead and start at Magic Kingdom.
It's a good place to start.
You're at Magic Kingdom. It's probably the most popular park. You're going to spend most of your day at the attractions, meeting characters.
But you gotta stop and eat.
But you have to eat.
Very true.
So let's go with Japheth. What is your first, go to what you like, or...
So if you're going early in the morning, this place is tucked away, and it's really overlooked. It's called Sleepy Hollow. And it's as if you're going into, not as if, you are going into Liberty Square. And a lot of people don't go through that entrance unless they're just going straight to the Haunted Mansion. And at that point, they go straight there. But at the entrance and to the right, so it's right next to the Hall of Presidents, there's a small, counter service?
Yeah, quick service.
Sleepy Hollow, and I recommend getting one of the fresh fruit waffle sandwiches. Mm-hmm. I say it's probably one of the best breakfast. You'll see people walk by and you just see all this yummy fruit and a waffle and you're just like, oh, this looks so good. And then you can go there in the afternoon, and then they have a sweet and spicy chicken waffle sandwich.
Yes.
And you just look at that and you're like, that looks good.
I think I got a good funnel cake there.
Funnel cake's there. You can get a turkey leg, but I think that's like the little hidden gem there for food.
It's a really good, get it at breakfast, good wait in line for a ride kind of moment.
Yeah, it's one of those hidden gems there.
Yeah, no, it's really yummy. All right, Peter, what's one of your picks at Magic Kingdom?
So for me, and you'll find a common theme with what I've picked, because we've discussed this before. I'm not a big foodie, so I'll put whatever in my stomach.
You've got a giant bag of trail mix that's in
pretty
your bag, and you're
much,
like,
pretty
that's
much.
all I'm eating today.
So most of my picks are going to be more about the experience and little things like that. So the first one I have out for the Magic Kingdom is Skipper Canteen.
Oh.
Is that on your list?
I saw that, and it's new, and I was like, yeah, the Jungle Navigation Canteen, Skipper, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that.
It's basically a restaurant that they built to theme with the Jungle Cruise. It's so cool, and they put so many fun little Easter eggs in their books and things like that. In a future episode, we're planning on talking about the members of Sea, which we will go into that more detail about that. And there's tons of Easter eggs all over that place, just about this little hidden story that nobody really knows about. And I hear the food's pretty good too.
The first thing I looked on the menu, I was like, oh, I want the grilled steak. It just looked so good. And there's only 3 or 4 high level, you're sitting down eating a nice meal.
Magic Kingdom,
and that's the only one on that side of the park besides the Liberty Tree Tavern. Mm-hmm. And that's an all you can eat. You order one plate.
It's a buffet kind of.
You ask for it and they'll keep feeding you. But this place, I was like, oh, this is a nice place. And I love theming, adventure. Yes. I love a good adventure,
Yeah, that restaurant had just opened up right before I left, and you couldn't get any reservations.
Was it where Princess Ariel was doing her meet and greets? Is it as you walk into Adventureland, is it to the right?
It is. I'm trying to remember. I feel like it's right across from.
Doesn't it share the kitchen with the Pecos? So it's in the back. I think it shares with Pecos.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's over
in
there.
The back,
yeah. Okay, it's in that location.
That's where I think it is. I could be wrong.
I was looking and I was like, is it over here? And I wasn't sure, but it's in Adventureland.
It's pretty close to Jungle Cruise, from what I remember. It's actually closer to where you get Dole Whips.
Is that where it is?
So It's over where the Princess Ferry or the Tinkerbell Ferry meet and greet was.
I don't remember.
Maybe they took it over. Because it used to be Kitchen back in the day.
That could be.
Yeah. So.
Back in my day.
There used to be ferries, and I used to meet and greet them there. Not anymore.
So, one of my favorite, I'll go with sit-down restaurant, is Be Our Guest.
That made my list.
Of course, yeah. So, I've eaten...
Did you try the gray stuff?
Yeah. It's delicious.
You should ask the dishes.
Oh.
Alright, we need to stop.
This episode's become a sing-along. No. I've eaten at Be Our Guest for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The experience is the same.
Price, not the same.
Price is not the same. Breakfast and lunch... Well, actually, I think they just changed their pricing, so...
Lunch and dinner, yeah, it's the same menu.
Lunch and dinner is, I think, almost the same price.
If you want to save money at the nice restaurants, go during lunch.
Lunch or breakfast, it will be cheaper. But Be Our Guest, love it. I took you there, Japheth. For breakfast. What were your thoughts on it?
I loved it. Great theming. I mean, you walk in... you feel like you're not in the park anymore, and that's what I like about the theme restaurants is that it's an escape. Yes. And that's what you're paying for. The food you're paying for a high level restaurant, but you're really getting you're getting Panera and Chili's level food, but you're not paying that price. But you're paying for the experience to escape from the park, and that's what's really important about that.
Where'd you guys sit?
So
We're in the back.
we sat. So there's like 3 areas.
Yes.
So there's the main dance hall,
The ballroom.
the ballroom, huge, beautiful. It's hard to get seating there.
I imagine that's the place everyone's like, oh, I want to eat in there.
So, and then there's, like, it's like Belle's, like, I don't know, it's like Belle's area where it's, like, green. It's very beautiful. It's pretty. That's where we had the breakfast. And then I've also had, Aiden, like, the Beast.
The West Wing.
The West Wing, the Beast Chambers. And honestly, that was probably one of my favorite rooms.
That's what I always thought. I thought the West Wing looked
The bees
best.
come in and start stealing your food. Like, get out!
It's fun because, like, it's dark, it's stormy, like, the windows are, it's, like, stormy, it looks like it's raining, which is always a fun feeling, and then...
Well, isn't it normally raining in Florida?
Oh, yeah.
At 3 o'clock it is. That's when I started my shifts. It'd be like 3 or 4, and I'm like, my shoes are soaked, and I'm like, all right, let's do this shift.
And then you can also see the rose and the petals falling, which was just fun. And the one bonus is, if you go for dinner, you can meet the Beast and Belle
They show
together.
up. That's great.
And you can do kind of a meet and greet with them. But I love it. One of my big tips for Be Our Guest, if they even do this anymore, haven't been there for a bit, so...
It's a new world out there.
Yeah, it's a new world, COVID and all of that, but generally, sometimes they'll have reservations for the restaurants, like sit-down restaurants, before the park opens, usually like an hour before the park opens. So if you get in, you can get into the park early, and you can get some pictures on the way, like, where it's empty, so it's kind of fun.
It's in the back of Fantasyland, so you're really going to get a good look through the park.
It's kind of like the milk in the back of the grocery store. It's always tucked in the far corner. If you're just going to the grocery store for milk.
They just want you to go there. But
And the same for dinner. I've had it where I've had a reservation.
the last one.
The very last reservation, and a cast member just walks you to the front. And you just take pictures and just enjoy, like, walking down where there's no one there. So
Empty Main Street.
That's my favorite. When working nights and there's nobody in the park and you're just cruising along, even though it's not like you're playing, but you're in the park and it's like, oh, it's my place.
Oh, yeah.
This is my playground, or when I work early in the morning and there's nobody around and it's got that fresh water sprayed on there, so it's special. So yeah, definitely a good tip, like do the first or the very last.
Yeah, if you're able to. I mean, if you've got young kids, like, you got to take care of them.
No, I'll never do that.
All right. And then I also, for a snack, one of my favorites, along with Be Our Guest, is Gaston's Tavern.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can get Le Fou's Brew, which is a fancy applesauce, but it is nice and refreshing on a hot Florida day.
Which I think is also available at Disneyland as well.
It's a little different.
Is it different?
It is a little different. But really great. When I was there, anytime I was at Magic Kingdom, I probably got it because it was really yummy.
It's the butterbeer of
It
Disney
is.
Magic Kingdom.
It is almost like the butterbeer. Japheth, do you have any other?
I think I've been to Tony's Town Square, and I thought it was an okay restaurant.
It's okay. I haven't heard great things about it.
It's average. And so, I mean, what's cool is that it's fireworks. You can see them up in the glass ceiling. So you gotta, like, book a reservation around that time. But other than that, the restaurant food's okay.
Yeah.
Never did the Cinderella's Royal Table.
No, never.
It's the character meet and greets I just avoided, so I never really went to Crystal Palace. One thing Disney does really good with is their morning breakfasts.
Yep.
Their buffets are always... So if you want a good, solid meal and you're not going to be disappointed, do the breakfast.
Yep.
You can't screw up eggs and bacon and sausage and pancakes.
And Mickey waffles.
And Mickey waffles,
generally, like, if you're not wanting to eat out all 3 meals, have a good big breakfast buffet, character meet and greet when the kids are, like, happy and awake.
Yeah.
And then maybe just have one little snack at lunch, and then usually that can hold you over for a while until you either get back to your hotel or you can have a late dinner.
And I think that's a good general... The character breakfast is, in general, it doesn't matter which park or which resort you go to, are always a good idea, especially if you have little kids, because they do get that one-on-one experience with the characters. And maybe so that you don't have to necessarily focus so much, and then when you do enter the park, you can have that moment beforehand at breakfast.
And we've had a really special character breakfast with Vader.
Yeah, back in '92, way back then, when we went to Disney World.
We went to there was a boat.
It's what's now the boathouse, but it was called Miss Tilly's, I believe, is what it was called, the SS Tilly. Where we had a character breakfast, and Minnie came around to our table, and she force-fed me my scrambled egg.
That would never happen.
No, that would never happen now, but...
the 90s. All the good stuff died then.
You watch the video, everyone at the dining had a good laugh about it.
Because you did not like scrambled eggs.
Apparently not.
You did not, and boy, did she grab a big scoop of that, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. And I remember going, oh, Peter's eating eggs. I was shocked. Don't expect that magical moment.
They're not going to touch your forks and things like that.
No,
I'm a character. Here's a fork. Here's your food.
Yeah, no, that's different time.
Yes.
Different time.
Another, I would say, for quick service, I would go there a lot, is Casey's Corner.
That's what I was going to say. Casey's Corner
It's
is
solid.
It's
hot dog.
It's a hot dog. I love their mini corn dogs.
Yeah.
And the cast members dressed up in baseball uniforms.
Yeah.
I had a couple of roommates who worked there. Yeah.
Every once in a while, they'll have the piano player out there, and he'll play his little piano, and that's always an enjoyable experience.
That is really fun to do. And like where you sit and eat inside, they have like a little like video going, and then you have like bleachers, like they have little steps there before inside.
I was like, there's not much seating inside anymore.
Yeah, and again, I'm pulling from almost 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
But just a word of reference: those Disneyland fans that love churros. They do not sell churros, or last time I checked, they do not sell churros at Magic Kingdom.
If they do, they're not very good.
Yeah. That's the theme. Churros are not the same in Disney World.
No.
And then...
churros were not created.
But there are Dole Whips. They do...
Orange Dole Whip,
They have an orange Dole Whip, so that's over in Adventureland. That's solid. It's good. Yeah, I definitely recommend. And I used to work at the Tiki Room, and they used to do cinnamon roasted like nuts, and I would smell them, and you're like, oh, they smell so good. I gotta have them. They're not that great. They're okay. So when you're working past Tiki and you're going towards Pirates, you're gonna be like, oh, that smells great. It's a trap.
That's the way I felt about a turkey leg. I was like, you know what? That turkey leg looks really good. And I got it right before I went to go see Fantasmic one night, and I go, nope. Instant regret. I was like, nope. No, not what I thought it was going to be.
So many people eat turkey legs. I did not eat a single turkey leg when I worked there for 3 years.
I'll only eat a turkey leg if I go to the Renaissance Festival. That's it.
It was like, I ate half it. I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't want this anymore.
I forgot this one place. It's across from the Haunted Mansion. It's the Harbor House.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's a quick service, and you can get like a chowder. You can get like a fish and chips.
Yeah, fish and chips.
It's good. I recommend that over like Pinocchio's House and
yeah, and there's a place. There's lots of seating inside,
and you can go upstairs.
And
I think
you can go upstairs.
They used to have the town crier. I loved him. Everyone hated him at the Haunted Mansion because he's like, oh, he keeps ringing the bell, and I'm like, but that's his job.
Yep.
And I was like, he was a good guy. He was great. Are we ready to move on?
Any other Magic Kingdom?
I was going to say Liberty Tavern is also great.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. We ate there.
That's kind of become like, if you want a good like Thanksgiving meal,
exactly,
that's where you go.
Yeah,
like,
it's
potatoes, turkey.
Food, it's family style, so they just bring you a big platter and you just...
It's literally Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You can have a filling Thanksgiving dinner inside the Magic Kingdom, and it's great.
And it's colonial themed inside, and it's a good feeling.
Yes.
And afterwards, you go take a nap at the Hall of Presidents.
There you go.
Yes.
Join Grover Cleveland, and with that big old belly,
All right, let's go on to the monorail.
Let's get on the monorail.
And go to Epcot.
We're not going to go to Animal Kingdom?
No, we're going to go.
There is no monorail going to... I swear, I took it there.
I swear, it was there. I was like, no. It was never there.
That's always the fight. There's no monorail to Animal Kingdom.
Never has been and never will be.
Yes, it's always a fight with guests with that one.
We're at Epcot?
We're at Epcot.
This is Food Central.
Oh,
pretty much,
yes.
like, any sort of food, like, it's going to be hard for us to, like...
It's the food court of Walt Disney World.
It is the food court.
There's so many different style of foods, and this is just our preferences.
Like, it's funny, you go on the Disney World website, and you go to Epcot's page, and you can, because Epcot's page is overwhelming with the food restaurant options. If you go click on, like, cuisine, like, that list goes on and on and on forever, because you can literally get any sort of type of food you want there, pretty much. Mm-hmm. For the most part, you can get it. And so,
Peter, where's a place you've eaten or want to go
to? This one, I have memory of going to back in '92. It's called the Biergarten.
Oh, the beer garden in Germany.
The beer garden.
We met the Austrians there. They were so nice.
They have good water there.
There you go.
You heard it here first. Good water at the Beer Garden restaurant in Germany.
Yeah, good Wasser.
No, at Disney World, the tap water is not great. So you have to find selected places where they actually filter their water.
Yeah, they do it well there, and then...
Any Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks, and then there was one drinking fountain at the entrance of Hollywood Studios that I would go to.
Oh.
It was very, in the corner. So the beer garden.
The beer garden. I don't remember much about the food or anything like that, but there's a great show that they have, and
a polka.
They've got a polka. They've got lots of little fun dances. You yourself can go out on the dance floor and dance to the music. It's just a fun environment, a fun experience that you can't really get to many other places. There's a lot of great food, but there's not too many interactive.
I think that is the only dinner show
at Epcot.
That
is the only show. They have character meet and greets and stuff, but that is the only dinner show. And from when I worked there, it was the easiest place to get a reservation, where you could show up the day of and you can get in for the most part. But yeah, fun memories there. I remember they had the Mickey
Butter,
where it was in the shape of Mickey Mouse.
It was like a statue, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like a statue.
It was down.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just
it's like a mold.
It was a mold, yeah. But I liked in Germany when I was there, and I looked and I was a little disappointed. There was a kind of a counter service there, and it was a dark forest chocolate cake. And I don't think they serve it there anymore. But if they do, I don't know if it's in the restaurant, but it was really good. It had a little cherry center in there and a little bark, chocolate shavings on there. I would go and get that there. I have eaten pretty much at every restaurant at Epcot when I was there, except for the Rose and Crown. That was the one I missed. Have not been to, but... Jackie, you got suggestions before I go into this one's good, this one's good, this one's great.
Well, I've got for sit-down restaurant, I go to the Garden Grill.
Solid.
This is above
Living with the Land.
Living with the Land.
If you want to know more about that,
watch our Defend the Attraction, our first one.
Part 1.
Yeah. So it's a sit down, it's a character meet and greet where you can meet Chip and Dale, Mickey, Pluto. I think Pluto's there.
I'm not sure. I know Chip and Dale.
I know Chip and Dale and Mickey are. So, and then it's a restaurant that moves.
Revolving restaurant.
It's a revolving restaurant. It moves into a circle, and it's family style buffet.
It's healthy food.
It's
It's made
fresh, nice food. Like, it's good quality food.
there. Mm-hmm. If you want something fresh, go there.
The Land Pavilion in general, great, healthy options.
And even if you don't want to eat at the sit-down restaurant, they have
They
quick
do have a
service that's made from the same
and that was
source.
one of my favorite quick service places. It's called the Sunshine Seasons.
Yeah.
It's like a food court style. They have different types of foods, and it's good quality food. I mean, they've got salmon, chicken, different type of, like, Asian-inspired food.
And the sit-down place is inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not too crowded. Everyone's just running towards Soaring.
Soaring, yeah.
And so it's not too busy of a pavilion to go sit down.
Well, there's lots of seating.
Lots of seating.
Lots of seating in that food court area. I mean, it kind of has a vibe of a mall, but the food quality is great.
Mm-hmm.
Because, when you learn on Living the Land, a lot of the food they grow is used in the restaurants there.
For sure, yeah. It's you learn a lot on that ride, and then you're like, oh, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I want a nice salad.
Yeah.
Crisp. And it's good. For me, a lot of the restaurants, if you go to the different pavilions, they're good, solid food. They're not mind-blowing like you go to the Chinese pavilion. It's good Chinese food.
Yep.
It's like you used to go there for the quick service.
The Lotus Blossom Cafe.
You raved about it, and I eat there, and I was like, yeah, it's just good, solid.
It's good traditional food that's probably just a tier above Panda Express.
And Panda's good.
And
Panda is good.
And they serve the same food at Animal Kingdom.
At the Yak and Yeti.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just I enjoy it. One of my favorite restaurants is the Mexican Pavilion inside.
I knew you were gonna go there.
I've eaten there probably like 3 or 4 times. I like the inside. The inside. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would eat inside, and you have the Aztec, temple, and then the volcano. It's themed. It's
like Blue Bayou.
It's Mexican Blue Bayou.
Yeah.
It is because
But way cheaper.
yes, way cheaper.
And
than the Bayou.
it's solid Mexican food. If you're gonna sit down at a nice Mexican restaurant, it's like that. So you're going with the theme. Like you go to the different pavilions. Like you go to Japan, the Kabuki Cafe. Oh wait, no, that's a quick service. So, you go to Japan. It's like going to a Benihana.
Yes.
Solid food. Hibachi grill. It's fun.
That one. Teppan Edo is
Teppanito.
Teppanito, yeah.
Yes.
That's the
restaurant.
The restaurant you were talking about.
And when I went there, it was kind of cool because I have that theming of the modern, and so they got some good lighting, and it's the clean architecture design of.
You don't feel like you're in a theme park when you're eating at that restaurant.
It really, because you got to go upstairs.
You have to go upstairs, and it's a nice step away.
You have all the ones and you get that. And most of the that's what's good about Epcot is like you could step away in these restaurants and you get pulled away. If you want good pizza, and we've eaten there, was the Napoli Ristorante e Pizzeria.
Oh, that's really good.
Solid pizza.
You could get pizza with cantaloupe on it.
I've never tried that.
It's really good.
There you go.
Boy, people blow their mind with pineapple. What are they going to do with cantaloupe?
Yeah.
What have you started, Jackie? One I don't like is the Akershus Royal Banquet Hall in Norway.
Well, that's the Princess Meet and Greet.
That's the Princess Meet. It was there, but you used to go there.
Yeah, the Norway Pavilion has never really been known for its good food.
No, and
they have a good bakery there.
They do have a good bakery. Yes, bakery's good, but the restaurant inside, it's fun themed. It's really you feel like you're there. Not that I've been to a Scandinavian country, but yeah, what did I get? I got buttered chicken and barley. I was like, man, this is not good. It was just bad. And prepare for Lingonberry, for one of those options there. A different experience, but it's got character breakfast, meet and greet in the morning, and so that's always popular. One thing I wish, I would go to the Rose and Crown, and I'd probably get the curry there. If you want Indian food, that would be the only place where you could get an Indian food.
Good Indian dish, yeah.
I want to go to the Regal Eagle Smokehouse.
I was going to say that. That one.
That's new for me.
It is new.
I I'm like, where's that?
That's the
Quick
America.
serve. It's the American Pavilion.
They got
Oh.
they changed their
That's
generic.
brand new.
You don't
Yeah.
know more cheap burgers and
Oh,
fries.
yes.
You're getting barbecue style,
I
and it
always
looks
feel bad
good.
for the cast members that used to work at like the American Pavilion. I'm like, oh, you're literally working at a McDonald's.
But worse.
But worse.
But worse. It's McDonald's. It's like Disney McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's gross.
And it's all Muppet themed. So like I've seen the walkthroughs of it, and so like they've got lots of fun, silly gags up on the walls and things
That
like
sounds
that.
really cool.
So-
I stumbled upon that, and I was like, oh, I would totally eat
And they've
there.
got special sauces that are Muppet themed as well. That are kind of cool.
I didn't know about that. Okay.
And then what I want to go in the future when it's built is the Space 220. It's supposed to be at Mission Space, and it's supposed to be eating, and you have these screens to make it look like you're in space.
220 miles above Earth.
Yeah. But it's not built yet. And,
Well, it's built. They just need to find a chef. That's what it is.
to come up with a menu.
Yeah, their last chef took a job in Vegas, and they've been struggling to find another chef to take over. It's done. It's ready to go. The sign's up. It's just covered up. They just gotta find.
Pay
a
no
chef.
attention to the lack of chefs here.
Pretty much.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my choices.
So there's one. It's my favorite dessert, I would say, ever, and it's in the French Pavilion, or France
Is it
Pavilion.
the upstairs or bottom? Which restaurant
No, it's
is
the
it?
ice cream restaurant.
Oh, the ice cream one.
shop. And there is like you can do like you can just get typical ice cream. You can get macaroons with ice cream, like a macaroon ice cream sandwich. But
Don't try to speak French to the
Oh,
French
they hate it.
They hate it. I've been around them, and Americans will be like, bonjour, and they just like,
they hate it.
They treat you with such contempt, just of what you're doing.
Tips that you won't hear anywhere else. You won't see this on the Disney blog. Don't speak French to the French cast members in France.
And the cast members are supposed to speak English.
Yes.
They're not supposed to, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the sass of the French.
Oh, yes.
Remember the show there? And, didn't you have an experience?
Oh, yeah. So one of my favorite ride experience, so they have the French show there, and it...
Which I loved.
Impression de France.
Yes.
And it was, middle of the day, Epcot, really hot. No one was really in the theater, and...
Surprisingly. 'Cause
Yeah.
When it's hot, you find anything you can to get inside. Because that's one of the drawbacks to Epcot, is that there's not a lot of inside attractions.
It's a very hot park.
But the cast member was going through his speech of, about the show and stuff, and he goes, please do not fall asleep, this is my home country.
And he's got that, sad French accent.
It was, a sad, monotone, it wasn't, a joke, but it was pretty great.
Please be respectful.
It's sass where you just would never see. You're not supposed to do that as a cast member, but there's those things when you're a cast member, you're like, no one's around. I'm gonna do my little sassy little bit right here.
But after you enjoy that show, and you want something cold, I love the ice cream shop there. There's a lot of variety. There is a option where you can get a scoop of ice cream with some sausages on top of that, in a brioche bun. And they press it,
It's an ice cream.
it's basically a French ice cream sandwich.
A baguette.
But it is so yummy and
yeah.
delicious and warm and cold. It's just...
While we're in the French Pavilion, they do have a crepe stand.
I was about to say that.
It's
It's a
really
brand
good.
new creperie that they've built.
Oh, they put a new one. It was really, it was just a shack.
Yeah.
Well, now they've got a creperie, where they're right next to the Ratatouille attraction.
Okay.
Oh,
So they
good.
get rid of the perfume shop.
I'm assuming.
That's probably what it
I'm
was.
assuming.
I do want to mention, I've eaten at the Coral Reef restaurant, so if you want to eat at an aquarium and have that kind of experience, it's really expensive, like...
Yeah, it's what you do is you sit down, you've got the giant aquarium next to you, and you're like, I want that fish.
Yeah, and they go in and they spear it in front of the kid.
right in front of you, right at your right in front of your window.
Don't.
Oh, they don't do that? Okay.
It's fun to eat there, because then you see, like, kids look at the fish, and then a shark eats it, and you're like, whoa.
So...
We're going to jump on a boat to Hollywood Studios now?
Well, actually, I just have one last thing, because I always hear really good things about this quick service in Japan, the Ketsura Grill.
Okay.
I've always heard really good things about it. I looked at the menu. It looked interesting. Good.
It's good there. It's a good quick service in and out. I like the Kabuki Cafe there. I forgot. If it's super hot, they got snow cones. And that is the quickest way to cool down at Epcot.
Yes, I've had a snow cone there. You could put like sweet condensed milk on it.
It's so good. Yes. It was my go-to whenever it was super warm there.
Japan is definitely my favorite pavilion in Epcot.
I did not know that.
Yep. I love it. I love their show that they normally have. Mm-hmm. Their shops are great because it's not owned by Disney.
No.
And so all the merchandise in there you will not see anywhere else inside a Disney park.
There's a ton of merchandise in there. It's one of the biggest shops in Epcot, I would say.
It does take me back. When I go there, I go like, oh, because I used to live in Japan for a little bit, and it does take me back there because it's not Disney.
Yes.
And it's really cool.
All right, let's take, are we walking or are we going to take a boat?
Let's take the Skyliner.
Oh, that's new, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's take the Skyliner.
Okay, well, we're jumping on the Skyliner. We're going to Hollywood Studios. Not my favorite place for food.
I think they've got... down
there are
Hollywood,
options.
Or what is it, Santa Monica Boulevard, or what do they call it? Or what?
Sunset
Boulevard. They have small little kiosks of quick service, and like I always like getting ice cream at one of those places because they like do little sundaes for you, and they're kind of special. Break away from the Mickey bars and the popsicles or the frozen bananas that people like, but like you just get a little ice cream there.
Yeah.
The caramel apple one. That's one I
Yeah, and I would say that's a good quick service. If you're going to have quick service, it's all outdoors, but there's some good options.
There's a lot of shade. There's a lot of shade in that area as well.
It's
so.
shady.
Yes. It's a little shady.
A little shady there. They've got this hotel that, boy.
Shady next to the Tower of Terror.
Lots of screams.
And a nice recording studio.
All right, Peter. I know this is your park.
This is my home park. One place I never ate at, but I always wanted to, and I still do, is the Sci-Fi Dine-In.
Same.
Really?
Yeah. It was one of, I always try to get reservations for. It was one of the hardest places to get reservations for.
Sci-Fi dinner?
Yeah.
Wow, I guess I walked in every time. I've eaten there many times. It's so much fun. So... it's a drive-in, themed, where you're sitting in a booth
that's
shaped like a car, and you look out and you watch black and white 1950s horror movies, but they're like little segments, and you'll see commercials. But if you're there for like an hour or two, you've watched the same video.
Yeah, the loop is about, I think it's like 50 minutes.
Yeah. And so I have good memories there. I went on a date there, got a nice good smooch, and I've got very fond memories of that, and it's good. It's solid food. It's like a step up from like McDonald's burgers, so it's like Red Robin. That's what I equate it to. You can get a shake there, so it's Red Robin.
Yeah.
And there's also a variety of different movie props that can be found in there, which I might talk about on our next episode.
Ooh.
Spoilers. So yeah, it was just one of those places that always looked really cool and interesting to eat at. So that's made my list of like places I would like to eat.
Same.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I always walked in and got like a seat.
I never was able to get a reservation. I probably could have walked in, but I just never did. So.
Too busy going to Pizza Port.
Honestly, anytime I went to Hollywood Studios,
Pizza Rizzo.
I would never eat at the park. I would either go over to Epcot and eat something and then enjoy Hollywood Studios if I was eating, or I'd go to a resort.
Yeah, they do have the close resorts nearby if you go to the Swan and Dolphin if you're going to eat somewhere really nice.
Yeah, studios. There's definitely less options there. Although there's some newer options that are better, that make it better.
Yeah.
Some of the additions.
There's also the 50s Primetime Cafe.
I never ate there.
Really?
It's the one place because it is traditional American food.
We ate there when you guys were visiting me when I was working.
Yes. So I've eaten there a couple of times. So it feels like you're eating in a kitchen in the 50s.
Yeah.
And literally, like, it's segmented. Like, there's so many different rooms, and each room is designed in different 50s styles of kitchens.
Yes.
And your waitress is, like, your mother.
Yeah.
And she'll make you, like...
Yeah, like, if you don't eat your
mom's got sass. That's what it is.
She'll give you a hard time if you don't eat your spinach. Even to the point where, like, if you don't eat it, she'll bring out whipped cream and put it on top and goes, "There's your dessert." So, like, if you don't want to be harassed while eating dinner, don't eat here.
Yeah,
because
it is not for everyone.
It's not. But it's a fun experience.
But it is a fun experience.
You got a little tiny TV at your table.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, that's on my list of I went back. I'd want to eat there just because everyone's talked about it. I just was never in the mood to eat, American food. I mean, if I did, I would get the fried chicken. I think
I've heard like they've got the PB&J shake, which is good, but honestly, the 50s Primetime.
I just think of a PB&J sandwich that they pour milk in there, and they like get a blender, it's like, and you're just like, here you go, and it's like clumps of bread coming out. And I'm like, nah, I'll pass.
Hi, here's some whipped cream.
Eat it.
No, but honestly, I think it's if you've already done it, you don't need to do it again. It's a one and done kind of experience, but it's fun if you're looking and you don't want to leave the park and you want to sit down somewhere. That's a good option.
We've eaten here. I don't know if you were with us, but Peter and I went, and I'd eaten there a couple times before. The Brown Derby.
Yes.
Oh, never eaten there.
You need a reservation in advance. It's supposed to be like 1930s.
It's the nice restaurant of the park.
Yes, it's one of the nice restaurants where the waiters are dressed nicely.
Yes.
They dressed as if they're waiters from the 1930s. And you're taken back in time you got that Art Deco style. It goes with the theming of that area, and the food is good. I mean, what it's known for is the Cobb salad. I mean, we got there.
Well, the original Brown Derby in California is the home of the original Cobb salad. So Disney had to make sure they got their Cobb salad right.
Yes, and it's good. It's good food. It is expensive. It's not Chili's level food. It's like you're going to a nice restaurant, but you're paying for
premium Disney prices for
premium Disney price. But it's probably one of the better premium places to eat.
And it has been mentioned before in a prior episode. It's the one place where our father was convinced to get a dessert.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was the first time. And then, like, as they've gotten older, they've opened up.
They're really splurged.
They were like the splurge now. But back in the day when they were like, we got a little budget. I remember the first time the guy was selling the story of these desserts. And I remember one day I was like, yeah, we'll do it. Now, granted, you're talking about hundreds of dollars the bill already.
Yes.
And they're like, let's throw on a $20 dessert. It's just like,
whoa, okay.
Wow, Dad's going for it. Okay, let's go for it.
Yeah.
If it's got a good story, my dad's sold.
And that's what it was. The waiter was so good. He was selling the story.
He was a great waiter.
And I remember just everyone was happy. He made the experience there. I mean, it's easy to go to these restaurants and kind of just get lost with it, but when the waiter goes above and beyond and tells the story and is a part of the experience, it really makes the step above. For us, at least.
One that I'll mention, I haven't eaten it, or I haven't done it at Disney World, but I did it at Disneyland, Star Wars Cantina, Oga's Cantina. Really fun experience.
Not so much on the food, but there are a lot of variety, different drinks.
Lots of variety.
It's a good environment. Yeah. It's a fun environment. The music's fun.
Yeah.
I jam out to the music. I listen to the soundtrack thanks to our father Yodeler, who has the music, and yeah.
It's really fun. It's just a fun experience. I mean, it feels like you're at a club almost.
Star Wars club.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars club, so.
Yeah.
Any others mentioned for Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, don't go to Pizza Rizzo. that was probably my big tip. Don't go to Pizza
Yeah,
Rizzo.
I've heard it's not great.
It's
okay, but it's okay.
It's not good.
It was, I think it was under construction when I was there, so...
That's the one thing I've always heard. Like, if you do go to Pizza Rizzo, try to go to the second floor. I was told the second floor looks really cool. So that's about it for that.
Okay, so let's hop on a bus.
Get on the stinky bus.
I don't know if I've ever been on those buses.
Oh, really?
I had a car there, so I drove
Oh, that's
around.
true. That's true.
Yeah. Let's jump on a bus or drive over to Animal Kingdom. I don't have a ton of experiences eating at Animal Kingdom.
I have the Yak and Yeti. I ate
Yeah.
duck there. It was an orange glazed duck. It was okay. It was the only time I've ever eaten duck.
Oh, one place that I do want to eat there, I've heard great things, is the Tusker House.
Yeah, that's another. The breakfast is traditional.
So it's like
Meet and greet.
It's a it's a meet and greet buffet kind of style.
It's in Africa.
Yeah, what is it? There's another place called, I don't know, it's the Jumbo House or something like that. But they do a lot of ribs.
Oh,
like short ribs.
Flame Tree Barbecue.
Maybe.
Is it like quick service?
It's like quick service.
Yeah, so that's another one that I have. It's like Flame Tree Barbecue. They've got like pulled pork, ribs.
I know the one in India you can get. They just do curry there and stuff. If you want to get a little Indian food, it's there.
I have the Satuli Canteen. I've heard a lot of good things about that. That's in the new Avatar land area.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people. That tends to be a popular location for a lot of people, and the food's unique.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've seen videos about it, and it looks like the food in Avatar is different. It's not your like typical.
Not your Dino Land food.
Yeah, it's not Dino
It's
Land.
not Restaurantosaurus. Which, sadly enough, that's where I ended up eating most of the time.
I was about to say, it's like, I don't know why, but we always end up there because you're just in the back of the park. And you're like, okay,
Well, the thing is,
here.
honestly, like when I was there really wasn't that many options because Yak and Yeti, they were building that when I was there. So I didn't even get to eat there. And everything else was either uber expensive because I was a poor cast member. So I ate at Restaurantosaurus most of the time. Because I usually went with my roommate who loved Animal Kingdom, and he loved that restaurant. So we're going there. Okay, whatever. Get the generic chicken nuggets. And
I do say that between Africa and like where Asia is or Everest, there's some smaller kiosks, food kiosks, where you can get some kind of yummy food. Some like Indian style food or...
And the good thing about Animal Kingdom, when you go there, you usually leave early.
Yes.
Because the park closes early, and so you can jump to like a resort. Yes. And I think that's probably what we're going to do now, right?
Yeah, any other honorable mentions?
not for Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. I don't have too much for Animal Kingdom. I generally didn't eat much at Animal Kingdom.
It's always a quick trip when you go there.
Yeah.
At least when I was there, it was a half-day park.
You go there for lunch. You can get something there for lunch, something good.
Or if you had a big breakfast and you didn't need to.
You kind of power through and you snack. You find something when you're walking by, like, oh, that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You eat some animal poop. No, they have these desserts that are like shaped like animal poop.
There you go.
I passed on that. When you're in a park with animals and you're like, let me dig into this thing that looks like poop. Oh, I don't know. Seems like a dangerous game.
Disney's charging me $20 to eat their animal food. All right.
They've got a great business model.
They reuse.
Back in the day when I was there, they were the only park that they would never give you a plastic lid and they would never give you a plastic straw.
Yep.
And so you had to drink your soda really fast because if not, the paper would dissipate in there. And, I don't know if they
It's
if
still
they got rid of the
paper.
lids.
Yeah, it's still paper.
I don't know if they got rid of all the lids because they were trying to like make sure nothing happens to the animals.
Well, I think all around there's no more lids and straws.
No more lids and
In
straws.
Animal Kingdom.
No, in all of the
I was
parks.
wondering
yeah.
if they had made the full switch.
Because I know at Disneyland they made that switch. There are no lids and straws at Disneyland.
Yeah, they don't give you bags at the Disney store. At least there's no more Disney stores, really. You'd have to pay for it. So that was one thing. You go to Animal Kingdom, like, oh yes, that's right. I have no lid to my cup, and so you're sloshing around. You're eating your burger, and you got like Coca-Cola all over your wrist.
Yep.
Yeah. just bring a bottle.
Just push through.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about resorts. There's a lot of Disney World resorts, and there's a lot of good food options. Most of the time, I wouldn't eat at the parks. I would eat at the Disney World resorts.
I think that's where you're going to find most of the best food on Disney property
resorts.
is at the resorts. So our recommendation would probably be do your research at the different resorts because there are a lot of great options at the Disney resorts for food.
Yeah, so one of my favorites, I'm a little biased, but I used to work at Animal Kingdom Resort. There's 2 restaurants. One is Sanaa, and the other one's Boma. So Sanaa is kind of an Indian type of inspired food. What they're famous for is their bread platter or their naan bread platter.
Yes.
And they have different sauces. It is the best. When I go back, I'm going to eat there. Like, that's how much I love it.
Oh yeah.
Really good.
Both of those made my list. So, Boma interested me because I looked at it and literally, I spent some time down in Southern Africa, and so a lot of those items I used to eat all the time, and so like
I'm surprised you didn't eat too much when you were visiting. When I was working there, I know there was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on when I was visiting with you, and so, yeah.
For Boma, I've had breakfast and dinner there. We did breakfast. We did breakfast.
Service
together.
wasn't great, but again, it's
service
breakfast.
wasn't great, but that's a different story.
Someone was getting fired.
It's African inspired food.
Yep.
There's zebra domes, which is like
Made of
dessert.
real zebras?
No. It's like this really yummy dessert. You can also get them at the quick service at Animal Kingdom if you just want to grab it and go. But really good. It's like a buffet, all you can eat. Really good. It will fill you for the rest of the day.
I'm gonna give one. It's at the Polynesian Resort, and it's the must. Like I don't know if I introduced it to you, but this is the one place I tell everybody
to
go for food, and it's at Captain Cook. It's the Polynesian Resort. There's a restaurant. There's 2 restaurants up top. There's an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's really good if you want to eat good, solid, yummy Polynesian food. It's like Brazilian style steakhouse, but with Polynesian food. It's good. I've eaten at the other restaurant. It's okay if you can't get into the other restaurant. But Captain Cook, it's a quick service. You're like, okay, what's quick service going to do? Well, the yummy food that they serve up top makes it down into the nachos. And so it's called the pulled pork nachos. It is the best food ever for me.
Absolutely. When I was there, I would leave Magic Kingdom, hop on the monorail, go to Polynesian, eat at Captain Cook's, and get the pulled pork nachos.
Did they have the bread pudding there?
No.
Because I think, is that at Ohana's? I think Ohana had the bread pudding.
Yes, Ohana's the bread pudding, and also
because I've heard really good things about the bread pudding.
Also, if you go to the Polynesian show.
Oh yes, we've done that, and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Same food that they serve at the restaurant, the all you can eat. Like they just inundate you with so much food. But yeah, the pulled pork nachos. So if you go late at night, which is great. That's the tip is you can get your nachos, and then if the fireworks are to go off at Magic Kingdom, you can watch them outside, and you see the whole fireworks show, and they pipe in music on the beach, and so it doesn't get any better than that.
And also, another point is, like, you can eat outside, and it's by the pool, the quick service, and usually they have someone playing the ukulele singing, and it's just really relaxing.
It's my favorite resort. And so, of course, I think the pulled pork nachos made it my favorite resort. It's the one thing, like, if Disney ever had a restaurant, that would be the one thing I'd want on their menu, is that pulled pork nacho.
Any places you want to eat at resorts?
So for me, I have one. It doesn't currently exist because they canceled it because of COVID, and I hope it makes its way back, but I think it's worth mentioning because I brought it up to you guys, and you guys went without me, and that was the Hoop-de-Doo review.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a great show. Kind of reminds me of the Golden
Horseshoe.
Golden Horseshoe.
Golden Horseshoe or Diamond Horseshoe review. Yeah.
Yeah, so it has that kind of where they have a great show, and it's like they just keep bringing the barbecue.
Yeah.
Those servers used to make so much money.
Oh, yeah.
It was the one place where no one left unless they retired, and they were making like $80,000 to $90,000, which is a lot
Because
for Disney.
for Disney. That's like double what a manager
this
makes
show,
in the park.
it's like all you can drink alcohol too, like a basic alcohol. Like
I don't remember, so I can't say.
You're not getting a lot of alcohol reviews from us because none of us drink. So
Yeah, we're not big drinkers here.
You're gonna have to go to like Disney Food Blog or whatever to get that info. But
yeah, and then also next to Hoop-de-Doo is a great place, and I think it's one of the cheapest places to eat breakfast is Trails Inn.
yeah,
It's basic breakfast.
it's
food.
Wilderness Lodge. This is where these things are.
This is at the Wilderness Lodge campground.
Yeah.
So Trails Inn. I probably ate there. I don't know. I ate there multiple times because it was cheap to cast members, and it was all you can eat. So you ate that all up. So, another one I want to mention is Olivia's Cafe. So I've eaten at a lot of breakfast places at Disney World because it was cheaper. But Olivia's Cafe, this is at Old Key West. It's kind of off of where Disney Springs is.
Which Disney Springs has a lot to offer.
Yes. We didn't even talk. We're not even going to talk about Disney Springs because it's massive.
And it's like downtown Disney. It just has so many food options, and
It's another Epcot situation where there's just so many options.
if
to
you
go
want
through it.
the food options, you go to those locations.
Yeah.
But Olivia's Cafe, really good breakfast. It's a little bit different than like the kind of all-American buffet style, so recommend that one. That's a really good place. I've heard they also have a really good lunch.
I've got one. I went and ate there a couple times. It's called the Turf Club Bar and Grill. It's at Disney Saratoga, and it's themed as if you're like at a horse
Stable?
racetrack.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's right across from the water at Disney downtown Disney, and it's got good solid food. Every time I've gone there, it's relaxing. Again, when you go to the resorts, you're stepping away from the parks, and it's just relaxing. And usually, like restaurants that are nicer you don't have as many kids.
Yes.
And so that is another way to escape and enjoy yourself. Oh, can I make an honorable mention?
Oh,
Do it.
I never eaten there, but it's at the Beach Club, Beaches and Cream Soda Shop.
Oh, I loved it. They just remodeled it too. I have it here. It's off of which resort? Beach Club.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's the famous kitchen sink.
The famous kitchen sink. It's this huge bowl of ice cream.
They bring out a kitchen sink, and I copy and paste what it was. So it's scoops of vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, cookies and cream, mint, chocolate chip, smothered in every topping. And then they also have chocolate lovers or Neapolitan like flavors that they can.
It can feed over 8 people.
Yeah,
It's
they
so
say
big.
4 people, but it's
size enough that you can.
if no one knows what they want ice cream wise, you just get that and everyone digs in and it just becomes a giant melted bowl of cream.
They also have a smaller one too, And
Yeah, it's kind of this cute little bowl. It's like
it's
plastic.
in a little Mickey
Souvenir sink.
souvenir sink. Also, the food there is really not bad. I would say it's like Red Robin level almost. It's good burgers. It's good like fries.
Kind of
burgers,
probably reminds you of like Swenson's.
diner.
That's probably what it is. Like another like Swenson's. It's an old like ice cream parlor burger place.
Let's see how many people actually know what Swenson is.
Pulling in our older demographics on that one.
Yeah.
But no, those are great ice cream shop. And then another one I like to mention is Whispering Canyon Cafe.
Is that the one in
That one's in Wilderness Lodge.
Wilderness? I've eaten there.
Wilderness Lodge. You can do buffet or like all you can eat. Kind of, they bring a platter to you, or you can just.
That's like the noisy place, right? That's the place where everyone yells. And
yeah,
things like
so
that.
there's like
So it's interestingly named where it's called Whispering Canyon, where everyone's shouting and yelling.
It's a very loud restaurant. If you ask for ketchup, you get all the bottles of ketchup, and all the tables have to run it to you, and you have like 30 bottles of ketchup, and then someone goes, "Oh, can I have ketchup?" They're like, "Get the ketchup!" And you have to rush the ketchup over. It's just such a fun experience.
So if you love ketchup, you're like, if all you want to eat is ketchup, that's what you do.
Those are my honorable mentions. There's, again, lots of great food at the resorts.
So much.
Any other mentions? No?
No, I think we've nailed quite a bit here.
My stomach's quite grumbling right now.
Yeah.
I'm now very hungry. That's my name. Very hungry.
So let us know what your favorite picks are at Disney World for favorite food. We want to hear it. Let us know if you like our options or if you're like, ugh.
You have horrible taste.
You have
Pretty
horrible
much,
taste.
yeah.
Stay to the mountain.
Pretty much.
Eat your Yeti.
We'll probably come back and do a Disneyland version as well. So.
So go ahead. We are on Instagram. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. We also have a Facebook page if you just have a Facebook. Follow us there. We are on YouTube if you want to just listen to us on YouTube. And then you can also email us at matterhornyoders@gmail.com if you want to talk to us, say hi, have any ideas. And then also you can send us audio clips through Anchor. So if you want to show your voice, let us know. We may
Send us creepy ones too.
Yeah.
I want Jackie to be like, why are you doing this?
Maybe we'll display in our next podcast those audio clips. So
If they're appropriate.
yeah.
Creepy. Just don't cross the line.
Yes. This is a family podcast here. We'll keep it family friendly.
But that's all the time we have. Thanks for joining us on this food journey, and Peter.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember, before your bobsled comes to a complete stop, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember...
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.